Hiya guys, we are live. Welcome to the Mark Jeffrey Presents. It is the first podcast that I have done in 2023. I know that there's a lot of you here that's watching now that are new subscribers. We've had loads of new subscribers today, so thank you very much for following the channel and supporting it. We've got some new listeners, some people that aren't subscribed. You know, if you are one of those, please like and subscribe. Please share this post. Please do what you normally do on the old YouTube channel and get me out there. That would be really, really appreciated. And we've got some old people on the group, some people that are used to my podcasts and my interviews. I'm no longer doing that anymore, guys. This channel is going to be used for doing wild camping, coastal walking, hiking, Cornwall walks and reviews and all that sort of stuff. So when the weather's a little bit crap, you know, I should be doing some lives on here. Please interact and leave some comments down below. In a minute, I've got Karen coming on. You can leave some messages in the comments there, and we will do the best to answer some comments that you leave or have a chat with you. It is very, very, happy-go-lucky. It's no real structure. It's just getting together and having a little bit of a chat. So loads of people coming in the room there now. Fog 360, he's saying hello. LNT. G'day, buddy. That's Stu. So without further ado, we're going to introduce you tonight's guest. I'm really, really excited about this one because I've known Karen now for probably about a year. And she's a really good girl. She's local to me, and it's nice to see somebody local to me doing so well on YouTube. So good evening, Karen. Welcome to Mark Jeffrey Presents.
Hello. Thank you for having me again. You must be glutton for punishment.
Yes, well, you've been on my podcast before, Mark Jeffrey Show, and that, you know, that's a separate entity. But we was going to have a little bit of a chat tonight about, you know, product reviews. We was going to talk a little bit about what we got for Christmas 2022, what it was like for you on your YouTube channel, and what you've got planned for 2023. But there's been some shit that's gone on in our life and since Friday the 13th, quite an irrelevant day, to be honest with you. There's been a lot of stuff that's gone on regarding our local camping spot, Dartmoor. And I thought that we could talk a little bit about that at the beginning, to be honest with you. So, you know, for those of you that don't know about it, two landlords won a High Court challenge against the right to wild camp on Dartmoor National Park this Friday the 13th. What do you think about it, Karen? I mean, I've been feeling a little bit crap about it the last few days. I've been chatting with my friends in our WhatsApp group. You know, we've been chewing the fat and discussing the whole thing. You know, how have you felt the last couple of days, and where are you at now?
Well, so I was actually out on Dartmoor when I heard the news, and was planning to wild camp, and had literally basically just got to where I was going to wild camp and then heard the news. I had been really, really optimistic that they weren't going to be successful, and that the people were going to win. And then obviously heard that we hadn't been successful. And in my naivety, I think I didn't realise it was about the whole of Dartmoor. I don't know if everybody else thought that, but I thought it was just purely about their land. So while initially I heard the court case had ruled in their favour, and I was just like, oh, well, that's crap. But there's still the rest of Dartmoor, so, you know, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then found out temporarily it was the end of the world, because actually it's the whole of Dartmoor that's affected. So other than being completely flooded where I was going to camp anyway, actually I was really, really upset. And there were a lot of tears, which is on film.
I did see. I apologise straight away, guys, because it's a little bit laggy here tonight. Me and Karen, we're a bit laggy. It's a little bit, but we're here in Cornwall. You know, the internet's not great, so I don't know if it's Karen's end, I don't know if it's my end, but I do apologise for that. But yeah, I did see your post there on Instagram, and you did look a little bit down, and you did look a little bit sad, and I did feel for you, because I did think that it was perhaps more of the case of the news that had come through that had put you off rather than the weather. And I think there was possibly quite a few people that did feel a little bit down about it on that day. But like I said, we got quite a few people in the group. Rebecca says that's exactly what I thought too at first. So lots of people feeling the same of us and in the same situation as us. But I thought before we go into the details of it, I thought we should possibly talk about Alexander Darwell and Diana Darwell, and just, you know, do you know who they are, what they're about?
Not a huge amount. I've heard that it's something to do with a hedge fund, isn't it? I mean, from what I gather, they have a lot of money. They want to use their land, obviously, for their rich things that they do, like shooting pheasants and hunts and things like that, and whatever. I'm trying not to form too much of an opinion about them as people. They've bought land, they want to use it for what they want to use it for. I just think they have been very short-sighted, and I think for me, obviously, you know, we've been left in the dark a little bit. It's okay, you can still wild camp, but you need the landowner's permission. But how on earth are we supposed to know who they are, how we can contact them, how to ask for permission, anything like that? So I think there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be looked into and worked out. And, you know, I'm hoping there'll be an appeal in the courts, you know, and some clarity for all of us. You know, the Dartmoor National Park were fighting against them and desperately sort of didn't want this outcome either. So I think we just need to look for ways of supporting them with appealing and working out a way forward for everybody, really.
Well, I actually, just a minute ago before we went live, I did actually type in the name Alexander Darwell and Diana Darwell to find out who these people were. And they have owned the land upon Dartmoor since 2013. They own what is called Blatchford Manor. And they own, it says here, I thought it was 4,000 acres, but it says here they own a 3,450 acre estate, and it's the southern part of Dartmoor. Now, so basically, what annoys me about the whole situation is that we've been able to like wild camp on Dartmoor legally for years and years and years, since I think 1985 or something like that. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the 100% ins and outs, and it seems to me it's almost like these people with loads and loads of money have moved down and decided they wanted to buy this land and then like kind of take over. It's a little bit like me, right? Buying a house next to Plymouth Argyle football ground and then moaning that every Saturday loads of people walk past the house and making lots and lots of noise. And that's what peed me off a little bit at the moment, because it just feels that, you know, it just feels that in 2022, the rich people at the top are getting the cream, and the people at the bottom, the peasants, the poor people, are being told to do one. That's what it felt like to me. And what I was trying to get at on Instagram and up there the other day is that loads and loads of people around the country are saying, oh, well, but, you know, now you know what we're going through. It's illegal in the whole of the country, you know, and we go out, we arrive late, we leave early in the morning, leave no trace, blah, and all this sort of stuff. And what I was trying to get across to people is we understand that, but it's that little bit of pie that's being taken away from us again. And there's some people, me as well, that gets anxious about going up on Dartmoor by themselves. I've never done a solo camp yet. That's one of my goals for 2023. And you don't want the worry of people banging on your tent telling you to move. You know, do you feel like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially on my own, you know, and I just think I too have had a lot of people like, oh, we'll just stealth it anyway. And it's like, yes, absolutely. I know we can do that. Obviously, we can do that. But yeah, for me, you know, the beauty of Dartmoor has been that you can go out, you can set up at lunchtime. You don't have to creep around and hide and, you know, worry about being caught or anything. And yeah, absolutely, the thought of being out there on my own and being caught and asked to move on, what do I, you know, if it's getting dark, like the thought of trying to pack up and get my way back to the car on my own in the dark on the, you know, it's like that, it does scare me, it does. Yeah. And, you know, I'm sure I'll lose some respect from people for you know, for admitting that, because, you know, I should be a hardened wild camper and not care about those sort of things, but I do.
Yeah. And I don't mind admitting to it. I'm the same. I'm like I say, I haven't done a solo camp yet because I do get a little bit anxious being out there by myself. You know, I don't mind admitting that. And, you know, there are people out there, guys, that do get anxious about the whole of it being illegal and stuff like that. But what I wanted to come on to next there, Karen, is the legalities. I'll get my teeth in there and try and get legalities of the whole thing. So basically, cut a long story short, it is now, right, illegal to camp on Dartmoor. Just like it is illegal to camp anywhere in England, you're allowed to camp legally in Scotland, but it states that you've got to get the owner's permission to camp legally on Dartmoor. Now, what does that mean? So if you are on Dartmoor and somebody comes up and knocks on your tent and says, "Excuse me, sir, you're not allowed to be here. You're breaking the law." I don't know 100%. I'm no lawyer or barrister, but so far as I am concerned, and correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody comes and tells you to leave, providing you say, as long as you say, "Okay, I will leave," there's nothing that they can do. If you tell them to F off and do one, right, then they can actually get the police and they can do you for aggressive trespassing, or aggravated trespass, I think it is. So at the end of the day, if you say, "Yes, I'm going to leave," there's no time limit on this. It's down to the landowner to then go and get a landowner's injunction form produced by the courts and then come and issue it. So as long as you admit and say, "Yes, okay, I shouldn't be here, I will move on," there's no time limit on that. Is that what you understand about it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know certainly for me, if somebody came and knocked on my tent, love that image, knocked on my tent and said I had to leave, I would be very much, "Oh, shit, I better pack up and go now." I don't think, I wouldn't sleep a wink, if it was, I don't know, midnight and they came and did that. I wouldn't sleep, I'd be awake all night. My kind of assumption, I guess, is that they ask you to move. You kind of, the expectation is that you move as quickly as you can, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know what the legal ruling on that is as such, and I don't know. I'm still a little foggy on whether it is actually illegal or whether it's a civil matter.
Yes.
I'm still a bit unclear on that, and I think some of it's the wording of it, isn't it?
Well, it is illegal to wild camp from what I have gathered, but it is not. The police cannot get involved. It needs to be it's a civil case. So they have to go to the courts and they have to get this injunction from the courts, right? And then it's only if you refuse to leave that it becomes aggravated trespass, and then the police can get involved. I mean, the whole trespassing laws and rules, what we've been looking into the last few days, it is very different if you are breaking into a place or if you are using a car on common land and all that stuff. It's very, very different. But like Chris has just said there, he is from East Anglia, part of the country. Loads of us wild camp with no permission, never stopped us and never been moved on. And I think, I mean, it's easy for us to all get stressed and wound up and upset about this, but providing you rock up late in the evening, just before the sun goes down, and you wake up in the morning first thing, in all fairness, nobody's going to know that you was even there anyway. It's like a little dormouse in the middle of it. Nobody's going to know you're there, are they?
Yeah. And I think, like I said, there absolutely, there's an element of that, and people will be able to do that. And I think what the point that some people are kind of missing is that it's crap that it's like this anywhere in the country at all. But in other areas of the country, that's always kind of been the rules, where they're used to that. They know that they have to kind of stealth camp. They know the spots where, maybe are checked more regularly by rangers or whatever. And they've always wild camped knowing that might happen. But I think what hurts us is that we've had the luxury of being able to legally wild camp on Dartmoor, and to have that taken away, that's what hurts. And I think it's that, and that's it for me. That's it in a nutshell. It just hurts to have it taken away like that overnight. And like I said, my assumption was that it was just about his land. I did not realise for 1 second that it was the whole, would affect the whole of Dartmoor. So I think that's, for me, that's what's hurt, really.
Guys, thank you so much for leaving the comments. We've got 20 people in the group here now that's leaving comments, and it's really, really good to get your support and join in here. Like South Coast Outdoors UK said, the police have
lovely coal
to worry about than a few respectful people in a tent, and very, very true. And like I say, it's I think that possibly we all may be making a mountain out of a molehill over this, but it's just the fact, like you say, it's the fact that something's being taken away from us again. That's what really annoys me about it. But I did see a statement was put up on Facebook there 8 hours ago, and it comes from Blatchford Farm, which is the estate owned there by the Darwells. And as the statement said, we are grateful to the High Court for its thoroughness in clarifying the matter. We now hope to engage with the Dartmoor National Park Authority so that we can improve outcomes on the ground. Working together, we can improve conservation of the Dartmoor Commons and improve the experience for those enjoying the Commons legitimately. Okay. Our intention was not to ban camping on Dartmoor, but to clarify the law on this matter. We have always wanted to work with the Dartmoor National Park Authority on this issue, and the recent court ruling now affords us the opportunity. We are hoping to come to a mutually satisfactory agreement in the near future. So that is what they've had to say. It's going to be interesting tomorrow and this week to see what DNPA, which is the Dartmoor National Park Authority, to see what they say. Don't forget that there's like 80,000 acres of land out there on Dartmoor. So it's not just the Darwins that own that Dartmoor. That's a small percentage. The Duchy of Cornwall own a huge amount. And it's going to be interesting to see what old William has to say. Do you think that they will say anything, or do you think that he'll keep it keep it quiet and not say anything at all?
No, I think he will. I think he will put out a statement or make his views known. I mean, he's all for mental health and everything, isn't he? And I think they own over 70,000 acres of Dartmoor. And actually, I did see a map yesterday that kind of shows who owns roughly what areas and what percentages and things. And I mean, it's a huge proportion of the moor that's owned by the Duchy of Cornwall. So I am optimistic that he will sort of make a blanket statement. I'm hoping optimistically that that they will allow wild camping on that land, in which case sort of that is the majority of Dartmoor, to be fair. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm presuming Dartmoor National Park will be liaising with the other landowners to get their views and their stance on it. And like you said, it could well be that we're sort of making a bit of a mountain out of a molehill. I think it's just come as a shock, and it's just that immediate reaction. I mean, I was filming yesterday, so my reaction on camera is that it's raw. It's very raw because it was just such a shock. And I think that's it. Sort of once people have had a bit of time to process it and we kind of find out what it actually means and what the Dartmoor National Park are planning to do moving forward and what the other landowners have said and everything. So I think until we know all of that information, it's a bit difficult really to form too much of an opinion. I think we were all ruled by our emotions over the last couple of days, but I think now it's time to okay, take a deep breath. Let's just stop a minute and let's see what everybody else has to say.
Yeah. I mean, I have seen as well, and I mean, I expect you've been invited like I have, that there's lots of people that want to do a protest camp. The first thing that I said when I heard all this was like, right, let's find out where his land is. Let's all go and get thousands of people to camp on his land with banners and this lot and see if he can get us all kicked off. But, I've since thought about that, and I just think the best thing that we can do is show up on social media and show our, how gutted we are, and just keep on supporting the groups that are doing the stuff. And just, I'm not going to be going on Dartmoor and doing protesting. I mean, if people want to do that, that's fair enough. But, I've had time to digest it and think about it. And, I'm just going to join the rest of the country. And I think that at the end of the day, they will understand how peed off the people of the country are. You don't need to do
all
this camp, all this shouting and screaming. I think sometimes silence is best, if you know what I mean.
I think everybody's got to process it in their own way, I think. And I think there's lots of different, obviously there's lots of different types of people out there, but I think there are some people out there that are they're almost just in it for the fight. I think there are people that feel that they need to be actively doing something, hence the protests and the arranging marches on the moors. And I think everybody has got to do what they feel they have to do. I think writing to MPs and things, no matter what your views on politicians are, I think, you know, sort of that is something active that people can do to express their feelings, their frustration, and they're the ones that potentially, you know, can represent things in government. But I think for me, I think it's important that we try to forge positive relationships with the landowners, and, you know, sort of by protesting loudly across the moors, is that going to aggravate other landowners and think, oh, I don't know, you know, I think we just have to be a little bit careful, and protesting isn't something that I will be doing, but I will be doing as much as I can I want people to know how important it is and how much it means to everybody. But I think there's just different ways of doing that, I guess. What I'm trying to say.
I totally agree. And what you said was the shortened way of what I made a cock up trying to say, basically. The bylaw states recreation, unfortunately, camping is not hiking. Camping is not hiking is. Again, I can't understand how it's not a recreational activity. How is camping, wild camping, not a recreational activity? I don't know how that got through, to be honest with you.
No, that's an interesting. No idea.
1972, Andy B has put cheeky beer. Karen, what are you drinking there?
I am drinking a Goose Island Impossible. It's called Impossible, but let's hope it's not impossible to sort out this Dartmoor crap, eh? Yeah, it's very nice. Thanks, Andy.
So
I am reading all your comments, by the way, but I can't.
I'm trying to do both.
Sorry,
I'm trying to, you know, look at you, look at my notes, have a chat, look at these notes. We're trying to multitask. You know what us guys are multitasking. So Karen, how does this whole shit that's gone on the last couple of days, and how does it affect you? What are you going to be doing up on Dartmoor? Are you going to be going out and carrying on? How is it going to affect you and your channel?
Well, I've obviously given this some thought as well, because obviously a lot of the videos that I do are based up on Dartmoor. I'm lucky in the fact that I have other strings to my bow, so to speak. And obviously I do a lot of stuff in the woodlands, and I've got some bushcrafty stuff, and I have got Dad's woods that I'm able to camp in and things. If it's not 50-mile-an-hour flipping wind, this wind needs to do one. I'm sick of it.
And the rain,
you know, so. Oh yeah. I mean, the rain's like, well, yes, because everywhere was flooded yesterday, totally. But I think for a minute, just like I said, really, until we know what the state of play is and how things are going to look moving forward and things, I'm just going to kind of look and do other stuff, really, more woodland stuff, more cooking. I am hoping to go to the woods next weekend. I still desperately I haven't camped since October. It's doing my head in, so I need a night in a tent. So I'm hoping to get to the woods, and I think just, you know, it's more than an hour each way for me to get to Dartmoor, and if all I can do is go there for a few hours to walk and then come home again, that's a long way to go for a hike, when I've got the Cornish Coast Path, I've got Bodmin Moor, you know, sort of a lot more local to me. So for a minute I will probably not be going to Dartmoor, but not, you know, not in protest or anything, but just just other things that I can be doing for a minute until we know what the state of play is, really.
Interesting you say that, though, because those other places that you're talking about, like Bodmin Moor and the Cornish Coastal Path, they're all illegal to wild camp as well. So, I mean, I for one...
I didn't mean camping, really.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. I, for one, I'm just going to carry on and do the stuff that I was doing before. I should still be respectful of the Dartmoor National Park wild camping map. I shall still be camping in the purple areas. And if I get asked to move on, I get asked to move on. But like I say, I've been doing wild camping for quite a short time, to be honest with you. This is only my second year. I've never been asked to move on. All the people that are on the moor are very, very friendly. It's a nice community of people that I've got involved with. I cannot personally see it changing, to be honest with you. But we will see. We will see. We will see. Gone a little wild has just said that I, for one, will be carrying on as usual. I know that a lot of people in my community have said the same. Rebecca has said there that I am carrying on too. So, guys, just be respectful. That's all I'm going to say. Be respectful. Don't go crazy. Don't go stupid. Rock up late in the afternoon, leave first thing in the morning, clear up, leave no trace, do all the stuff that we've been doing in the past. And I think at the end of the day, I think what's let us down is after COVID, all of the people that rocked up in frame tents with the families and beers and fires, they're the people that's let us down.
Yeah.
They're not wild campers. They're just cockwombles, should we say. So just carry on doing what you're doing. And I think it'll all end up good, to be honest. If you like Gone Wild, a little wild, as I said, is respectful as always. And I think that's a good way of ending this topic here tonight, because we wasn't just going to be just talking about that. I want to talk a little bit about you, Karen, to be honest with you, because, 2022 for you has been an absolutely amazing year. I've seen you grow from hundreds to thousands, and, I love your channel. I love tuning in to watch your channel. Your channel is called Karen's Gone Wild. Tell us a little bit about your channel for those people that haven't seen you. I don't know where they've been hiding, perhaps under a rock on Dartmoor or something, but tell us a little bit about your channel and what it's all about in that.
Well, it's kind of a little bit of everything, really, with a bit of crazy thrown in for sure, for good measure. Obviously I do wild camping and things, and I will still go to Dartmoor, but I for myself, I just need to give myself a bit of a breather. But yeah, wild camping, bushcraft, cooking, and I do some hikes and stuff like that. But for me, it's about getting out into nature. It's brilliant for my noggin. The work I do is quite tough and takes sort of an emotional drain, if you like, at times. So for me, just to go out and to get away from it all is absolute, amazing. I absolutely love it. And yes, Andy, rave parties in my tent, I love it. Bit of a dance in the wild, I love it. But yeah, just and I enjoy entertaining people. And I get a lot of people that comment and say, they've watched my videos and it's really cheered them up. They're having a bit of a crap time or whatever it is. So for me, that means the world. Just making people smile at my expense, really. That's it. If I can make people smile, then that's good. I like it. That makes me happy.
I can remember your first video you'd done. I think it was didn't you camp on Sheep's Tour? Was that your first?
Yeah, my first wild camp.
Tell me a little bit about that. That was over a year ago now. And I don't know what your subscriber base was back then compared to what it is now. But, are you still using the same equipment? I'm a relatively new YouTuber. I'm still recording on my mobile phone. I want to get out there and buy a GoPro. But, for the people that's out there that wants to start up a YouTube channel and wants to develop it, what equipment are you using, and what advice would you get to grow in your channel?
For growing your channel, I think a lot of it is about interacting with the community. Being on social media and being on Facebook groups and interacting with people that have channels similar to you, and sort of it's just about getting your name seen and heard. And I've made so many friends through doing that. It's it really is an absolutely incredible community, and I think that for me, that's a lot of it. That is a lot of it. It's interacting with people, and it's a bit of give and take as well, isn't it? It's watching other people's channels and commenting on their videos, and then they'll watch your channel and comment on your video. So it's all a bit of give and take, really. Equipment wise, I just use my phone. Haven't got anything else. I just use my phone. I've got a selfie stick with the tripod on the end. It's very, very basic, my sort of filming setup, and that's the way I like it, because, as you know, I'm not terribly technical, so I keep it as simple as possible. And I love the fact that I've got my phone and that's it does everything. I was for a long time editing on my phone actually as well, so I was filming on it and editing on it and uploading to YouTube on it. I was doing everything, but I have now got a laptop, and I am editing on that. But I've got a different tent now. When I first started out, I was using a Snugpack Ionosphere purely because it was light. But I very quickly realized that for me, I have to be able to sit up. If there's bad weather, I have to be able to sit up in my tent. And I fell in love with the Cloud Peak 2. So bought that. I did loads and loads of research first, though, bought it, and haven't looked back. And if anything went wrong with it, I'd probably buy another one, because I just love it so much.
Looking back at 2022, then, what would you say was your favourite video that you did, and what was your favourite camp that you've done?
Oh man, my last camp, weirdly, my last camp on Dartmoor was on Doe Tour, and that was a flipping awesome camp. It was, the weather was minging. It was blowing a hoolie. It was driving rain. It was really, really quite unpleasant to walk in. But I mean, the moors, even thick in clag and everything else, they're still just beautiful. And I did quite a few different tours that I'd never been to before that day. And then went down to Doe Tour to camp to be a little bit lower, so I was a little bit tucked out of the wind, and I just had the best night. I had the absolute best night. I was reviewing Lovely Cole's little cook system, so I was quite chuffed I'd been able to film two videos out of one camp. I had my little rave party in the tent that night, a few drinks and dancing and singing, and it was blowing a gale and it was pouring with rain, and it was flipping brilliant. Absolutely loved that camp. And then the walk back the next day, I opened the tent the next day fully expecting clag, and it was beautiful. It was sunshine, and I had just the most stunning weather to walk back in. So that, I think that was my favourite camp, which is Natalie With. That was my last camp of 2022, and B, my last camp on Dartmoor as well for a little while, you know. So that was quite amazing. My most memorable moment from 2022 camping was leaving the tent on the morning. It was back in April, and I was on Hunter's Tour, and I woke up to the heaviest frost I've ever camped in, and the tent was covered in ice, and the grass was like crunchy. It was absolutely amazing. That morning, the sunrise was stunning, and the crunchy grass and the frost on everything, it was absolutely beautiful. So that was really, really memorable. I can see comments about me doing my little jingle for Outdoor Gear Essentials, which I'm not going to sing live, but I now, every time I say Outdoor Gear Essentials, I sing it in my head. But yeah,
for me as a subscriber, what I've enjoyed, what channels I've enjoyed, what videos I've enjoyed that you've done this year, is I've enjoyed seeing you grow as a YouTuber and interacting with people, doing collaborations, like you've done one with Muddy Bootlaces, and you've done one there with Wild Bear, going up there and spending the weekend with those two young ladies. I mean, it's little things like that, isn't it? People that's in your community that's one step higher than you, and having them invite you to their community and interacting with them. That's what makes this whole YouTube experience worthwhile, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said earlier, I've made some absolutely amazing friends through this, and and I think there are some people who are quite protective over the knowledge they have of growing their YouTube channel, because they don't want to share it, because then that might make someone else successful as well. And my God, we're all in it together at the end of the day, and we're all just doing what we love doing. And why wouldn't you help someone else? Why wouldn't you share that knowledge? And I have quite a few people that sort of message me with questions about, sort of what equipment I use when I'm filming, or what editing program I use, or whatever. And I will always try to help people if I can. I think the biggest thing I've found this year has been, I know maybe it's obvious to say, but the bigger the channel gets, yes, Twinny, friendships have been priceless. Absolutely. My little Twinny. We're born on the same day. That's why I call her Twinny, in case anyone knows. But yeah, I think I've totally lost what I was saying, Mark. What was I saying? This is the perimenopause. This is.
I don't know.
Lose
I
the
don't
train
listen
of thought.
to what you're saying a lot of the time there, Karen. Just switch up. No, I'm only
Just glaze over. Whatever.
What's been your favourite item that you've purchased this year? Whether you've been given an item or whether what's one item of wild camping equipment that's been your best this year last year in 2022?
Oh, probably my knife that I bought. I bought a folding knife at the Bushcraft show, which I had. So I met the blacksmith who made it. He's absolutely incredible, and hand makes knives, and it's a absolutely stunning knife. And had I thought of it, I would have had it here to show you. But yeah, for me, I think meeting the person who makes things like that and such beautiful pieces of work as well, and it's a legal carry knife, so potentially I can carry it with me. I'm a nut. Why am I a nutter? That's rude.
I was wondering that, yes, but anyway, I can put it up.
Not sure what that comment's particularly in relation to. Just everything, maybe. Just generally a nutter.
It's good to be nice.
Yeah, I think so. I think like that's probably been the one thing that I've bought this year that's probably meant the most to me, is that knife, because that's something I'll treasure for the rest of my life. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
But for me, I mean, like I say, I'm relatively new to this, and I'm new to the YouTube experience. But for me, I think it has to be my Rab 1100 sleeping bag, because that thing is an absolute beast, and it helped me out no end when we done my favourite camp. Was just before Christmas. We went up to up on Dartmoor between Routor and West Miltor. We was in a little valley, and it was just before Christmas, and as we was driving up, the snow come down, and it was an absolutely magical night. I think it got down to about -6, and that sleeping bag really did help me out. The Rab 1100, it was an absolutely amazing one. Another camp that I done last year that I thoroughly enjoyed as well was we went up to Great Mistor, and the army traipsed right through our tent, not through our tent, but through where we was camping, all in their army camouflage gears, their guns, their night gear, and I didn't even notice that they were right behind me until my mate George, mentioned it. They were that quiet, and it freaked me the shit out. It was just like, it all adds to the experience, doesn't it? It was really good. It was a good year. 2022 was a great year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully this year will be even better.
It will be.
Hasn't started out terribly positively.
2023 then. I mean, well, before we move on to 2023, I want to talk to you a little bit about Christmas presents, because being a wild camper like you are, our other halves buy us Christmas presents that are all to do with, wild camping. And I thought that you could show me what you got and I could show you what I got, and perhaps not do a little review because I haven't used one yet, but just hold it up to the camera and show the world what you got. What did you get for Christmas, Karen?
It's like show and tell, like when you were at school.
Yes, it is. Yes. What did you get in your secret Santa present?
I haven't even opened this yet, but we haven't exactly had the weather for it. But my hubby bought me from the lovely Cole a Lanshan too.
Sweet.
Which I had mentioned in a few camps. If I was a good girl, I'd get it. And clearly somebody thought I'd been a good girl, because I did. Haven't even been able to open it yet, though. I mean, the weather's just been so shocking. And obviously the first time I pitch it, I don't want to be in a gale or flooding. So yeah, but I cannot wait to test this little bad boy out. I'll only be using it in the summer. I'm not one to test tents to their extreme. It'll be for my summer camps, but I'm hoping I can do some really lightweight summer camps. That's kind of my hope, really.
People, the truth is, the reason why Karen hasn't been out with it yet is because she hasn't got any hiking poles. That's what I've never seen you do a video of hiking.
I have.
Poles. You have.
I've started to use. Yeah. No, I have. I've started to use one actually to help with my hippie shoes.
Or have you got
and
some?
It does help massively.
Have you got some hippie shoes?
I've got hippie shoes.
Sweet.
Yeah, I have.
No.
So I've got arthritis in my hips. So and I do harp on about that quite a lot in my videos. But I've started using one trekking pole, and actually now it's I can't go out without it. It's an absolute godsend. But I'm not sure I'd be able to walk with two, but I have two, so I'll obviously carry two for the luncheon. Otherwise, I'd be a bit screwed, wouldn't I?
I'll be honest, this luncheon, I mean, like I say, I do a lot of coastal, well, I do a lot. I've done it twice and I'm going to do it a lot more. I do a lot of some, coastal path walking, and that would be the ideal tent. The one thing that puts me off buying one is I think I'd have a freaking nightmare putting up. I seen Wild Bear, her up on the mountains trying to put one up, and she had a right rigmarole. And I watched someone on Off in Trev, when he tried putting one up, when he battered the crap out of it with his hiking pole, falling down, that would be me. And I just think that I would end up just like throwing it in a heap and not using it, just sliding into it and using it as like a bivvy bag. I think that's the one thing that puts me off about it. But have you actually, you've not even put it up?
I will. No, I've not even got it out of the bag yet, but I will film the first time I do it, because I do think it will be funny. But yeah, I will film it, and I'll give my first thoughts on it. And I'm just excited to try it and just see if I fit in it first. Hopefully I do.
Yeah.
I think I will. But obviously at 6'1".
They get some great reviews, so I am tempted to buy one, to be honest with you. But for my Christmas present, this is, I don't know if you can see it here, guys. I can't get it to focus very well. I'll get it out. I'll show you what I got. It is a Cooper hand warmer. Now, it's not going to be for my hands. It's not for warming my hands up. It's one of these USB hand warmer things. I got one for Christmas to turn on, to just chuck in my sleeping bag so it's nice and toasty before I get in. Because a lot of people that I know use hot water bottles, and I was told that hot water bottles aren't the best thing for wild camping, because if you're camping out at night time and the temperatures get really, really low, and for some reason your hot water bottle bursts, then you're in a whole world of pain. You've got a wet
exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen you on your videos use the hand warmers, the ones that do you snap them or something? I've never actually used them, but I thought I'd get one of them.
You just literally get them out of the packet, and they take a little while to kind of get going, but they are absolutely amazing. And actually, I've ordered loads from Cole, and bless him, before Christmas, I thought I was doing a camp and I was supposed to be, and then it got, I think the weather, because I was meant to be going to the woods, and then I couldn't go with the weather, and he did an emergency drop for me. Last minute special delivery of the hand warmers, bless him. But and my son even bought me a massive pack of, exactly. My son bought me a pack of 10 hand warmers for Christmas. So yeah, they're absolutely amazing, honestly.
I just want to give a big shout out to Cole, actually. What's the name of his company again? I always forget. I'm
not singing it, Mark.
Go on. Oh, come on.
It's Outdoor Gear Essentials. Come on, everybody knows it. Outdoor Gear Essentials.
You are doing it. He got me my Cloud Up. Is it Cloud Peak? Cloud Up? I always get confused with the two. Cloud Peak 2. And it's in the blue. It's the blue color, but I wanted the old one, the T-shaped door. I wanted one of those, and he got me one. And I've taken up on Dartmoor a couple of times, and they're a cracking little tent for the price. You really, really, So he's helped me out in the past, and top notch, top guy. What else did you get, Karen? What else did you get for Christmas? Have you got anything else?
I got Wild Bear bought me a pink. Oh, you can't see a pink spork. It's a titanium pink spork. Bless her. She knows me so well. I know.
I just carry one around.
I'd bought a long-handled spoon to use with like the you know what I mean, the meals that you add boiling water to. But actually, this is quite good because it's got a proper forky bit on it. Yeah. So that's quite cool. A little present, but it's quite cool.
I'm more of a spooning man myself. At the end of the day, I think you can't beat a bit of spooning when you go camping. Rather than a spork, I'm a spooning.
I like a good fork. I have bought myself. Oh,
We
go
just
on.
had a
So
question come through there, and we've kind of answered it, you know, a little bit further on. Karen, do you think you will be camping anytime soon on Dartmoor? It will feel very different for you with the new laws. I mean, we've gone over that, but do you want to briefly, quickly answer that one?
yeah, I think I will camp on Dartmoor. But I just for me, I just need to find out kind of just a little bit more about what it's all going to mean, what it's going to look like, and just wait for some sort of confirmation from the Dartmoor National Park and other landowners and stuff what their thoughts are really. But yeah, absolutely, I'll be camping on Dartmoor again. It's not the end, that's for sure.
It's not the end of the world as well.
It's not the end.
For Christmas now, I'm really excited about this, and I know it's really geeky because I'm a bit of a geeky guy, to be honest with you. But for Christmas, Nikki said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I said, "I want a water filtration system." And she's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's a water filtration system that I've been on. Whenever I want to buy something, I'm normally on YouTube for weeks, hunting down, looking at all the reviews and all this stuff. And I asked for a Catadan, I think it's that's how you pronounce it, B3 1 litre. And what was quite funny is when I was looking it up on Amazon, the 1 litre one was actually cheaper than the half a litre one. So I got the 1 litre one. And I mean, I don't know if you've heard anything about these things, but these things are absolutely awesome. And I'll just get it out here and show you if you can see on the camera. But there we are. I am a little bit cautious about the bag. A lot of people that I've seen have said that they split. But the reason why I went with this one is the fact that the actual filter system is really, really good. Really good. You don't have to worry about back flushing it or anything like that. You just basically give it a swish, wash it out, and they are really, really good. What do you use what filtration system do you use, Karen?
I've got a Sawyer mini filter, which it is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. It took me a long time to trust it. I think I just always worried about upset tummies or whatever. But I've now used it absolutely loads and I love it. But my God, it's hard work to filter your water through it. And it comes out in a tiny little piddly dribble. I am very envious of your water filter. And actually, I've got one in my Amazon basket as we speak.
Next time I go out, I am going to be doing a little review on that one because I'm really excited to use it. And I did look at the Sawyer. That was one of the ones that I was gonna get. But I liked that one. It doesn't last as long as what the Sawyer does, but the flow rate is so much stronger, and it just looked less faff. It just looked less faff. Yeah. So I have seen that if the bag goes, there is some companies that make the different bags for it, which is a little bit stronger. So for me, I mean, there's a few people that's put here now. Rebecca's put brilliant present. I think that she means mine or she means yours. I don't know. She's also put.
I think she means your water filter.
One for ages. We've got another one there. B3 is the best. Pretty tough. Gone a little while. He's just B3. And we've got another one here, a bigger Sawyer available. So there's a bigger one available, but it's all down to size at the end of the day, isn't it? I just thought that the 1 litre, you can fill up a water bottle and then fill up. It flows so quickly. You know, I think for me, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a review and see what happens later on.
Size matters. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's the magic wand, not. Is that what you're saying? It's not the size of your tool, it's the magic. It's not the size of your wand, it's the magic it produces. That's it. We got there eventually.
But yeah, I think you will love that water filter. Everything I've seen of it, like the flow rate on it is amazing. And I think it's like any kit. If you look after it, then it's probably going to last you, isn't it? I would imagine, you know, if people use and abuse their kit and shove it in their bag and pull it out and whatever, like, and then they're surprised it rips. But actually, if you look after it and you're careful with it, it will probably last you for bloody years, I reckon.
For the 15 people that are still watching, Gone a Little Wild, great little channel. Please get over there and check that out. I love his channel. He makes me laugh. Yeah. Size doesn't matter. I don't know if that's saying something about him, ladies, but we'll leave it at that. So 2023
Becca,
then, Karen, What's Becca put? Let's quickly go through that.
She's just. I wanted to ask Karen about how you learnt to navigate. Did you go on any courses?
Nice.
I haven't. No. I've been brought up on camping and hiking and everything. So my dad taught me about map reading and everything. I'm still not the best at working on a compass bearing. For some reason, I have a bit of an issue with remembering exactly how to do that. And I always vaguely remember how to do it. And I have had to use map and compass before now when the clags come down completely to sort of find my way off the moors. Back when I had my old phone, the battery on it was shockingly bad. So I had to rely on map and compass to get off the moors. I think I was only up at Great Mist Tor, but let's face it, if you walk off in the wrong direction, you're a bit stuffed, aren't you? But yeah, so I've just always, I sort of was brought up with it and have always practiced it, I suppose. And I always now I'm use the OS Maps app. I can never say that, on my phone as well as a backup. But I've always got my map and compass with me. Always. I'd quite like to do a course, because I wonder if I do a proper course, whether that will help it stick in my head more.
Well, Stu, another mate of mine that I've met this year, another great channel.
Stu's lovely.
LNT stands for Leave No Trace Kerno. I didn't know what. I was being a bit silly, but LNT Kerno, great channel. He's put Karen. We're looking at getting on a course soon. Come with us. And I was just about to say that I don't need any navigational skills, because I always go out with other people that know what they're doing. That's what I was going to say. I just follow the stars, look for the North Star.
Wow, you see, but no, you need to learn, Mark, because what if one of them was poorly and the other one went blind? They might be relying on you to get them off the moor. You need to know. I think it's something everybody should learn, really, to be fair.
I think
taught in schools.
I think I would just carry on walking like Forrest Gump, and one day I'd end up somewhere and, with a big ginger beard. Oh, it's grey now. It's grey now, a grey beard, but do you know what I mean? What we got here now? The Wandering Forester said, "Are you coming up to the Breckons this year? The Brecon Beacons?" Yeah, that was one question I want to ask you. I mean, like I say, you've basically stayed around Cornwall. Is there anywhere that you would like to go? It's 2023. We're talking about the year 2023. What's coming up for you? Have you got any plans to go to like Scotland or the Brecon Beacons, or where would you like to go? What's your plans?
I'd definitely like to go back up to Wales. I love Wales. I absolutely love it. My nan was Welsh, so Wales is in my heart. But yeah, absolutely. And back up to Snowdonia again, Brecon Beacons, the Black Mountains. I'd love to do all of it. It comes down to time, and fuel money and everything else that it's all got to kind of factor into it. And my weekend camps away, I can generally, it's one night. If it's 2 nights, I have to book time off of work, and it's fitting it around kids football and around sort of hubby's shifts and everything else, and childcare and whatever. So sort of me and hubby have got loads of ideas of things we'd love to do together, but it's just we can't do it. We've got children.
Yeah.
And like, while the eldest is sort of, he's getting to the point now where he can be left at home on his own sort of for a night or two, but the younger one obviously not. So that's it. It comes down to time, and it comes down to money. I love the Lake District. I would love, sorry, my cat's rubbing himself on the table. I would love to go to Scotland, Yorkshire, just everywhere. Peak District, I'd love to go everywhere. But it's just the time and everything else.
Lost Girl Adventures is put, "I've lost count the amount of innuendos in this live." And
lovely Sarah.
The thing is that how long, because like I say, I'm relatively new to this, and when you start your channel and when you're out on the moors and that, you're quite like serious to start off with, and then all of a sudden you get into your rhythm, you get into yourself. How long did it take you before you found that you was happy recording your videos?
I think it's like with everything, I suppose. Practice, one doesn't make perfect, but it makes you more confident, I suppose. So I'm a lot more confident filming now than I was, and especially in front of people as well. There was, you know, sort of time when it's like, oh my God, I feel like I just felt stupid filming in front of people. And actually now it's becoming more natural, sort of filming in front of Claire and Becca. I didn't feel really uncomfortable. I was like, oh, actually, this is all right filming in front of other people. So I guess it's just the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I think I've always felt fairly natural talking on camera. And I look back at the first video that I ever did, and I only cringe at certain things. But I think actually the kind of message generally is still the same. But I think it's more my confidence in editing and filming the right way up. Even I think the first video I even did was filmed up the wrong way because I didn't realize you had to film up the other way for YouTube. And you know, it's all those sort of learning curves, and it's the editing process and stuff that now I'm feeling a lot more confident with. But it's weird for me because even when I go out on solos, I don't feel like I'm on my own because you guys are with me.
Yeah
I feel like I'm just out there with my mates, you know.
Do you mean then putting it in landscape mode, holding your phone sideways instead of upright? Yeah, I done that on my first video that I done there, the first World Camping one, when I went up at Christmas, and I was well pleased that I recorded this video, and then I got back and I was just like, oh shit, I didn't do it in landscape, and I was really gutted about it. Do you know what I mean? So guys, I do apologize. There's going to be some more stuff coming your way that's going to be a little bit more professional, but you've all got to start somewhere, and you know, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And it's nobody knows it all, Mark, either. Nobody. And if they do, they're lying. I think everybody can learn stuff, and you know, and I think it's about being humble with that, isn't it, as well? And it's, you know, it is a learning curve, and we've all got stuff to learn, and we'll all make mistakes as well. At the end of the day, you know, God knows I'd make some. I do generally try to leave them in though.
Who would you, in 2023 then, we've talked about, you know, where you would like to go and the things that you'd like to do in 2023. Who would you like to collaborate with in 2023? If there's any YouTuber, wild camper that you watch, who would you like to go out and do a wild camp with?
I've got there's lots of things afoot. I've got there's lots of people that I've kind of talked to potentially about wild camping with. Some have YouTube channels, but they're smaller channels that are just people that maybe watch my videos a lot and I sort of interact with quite a lot. So I'm looking forward to meeting up with them. I've got a girls camp in May, which I'm organising, which I can't wait for, because there'll be some people there with YouTube channels, and there'll be some people there that are just, you know, sort of have followed my channel and support me in what I do, and friends that I've made and stuff. And even like some of my friends, like from the real life, like work and things, want to come as well. So that would be quite cool to kind of see everybody together. I think actual collaborations, I haven't got anything specifically booked yet, but there's definitely plans afoot with some people, but I don't want to let all my secrets out the bag.
Whenever you keep saying collaboration, I just keep thinking of Vanilla Ice. I don't know why. I was starting to sing the stop, collaborate and listen. Showing my age.
Amazing.
1972.
I used to love Vanilla Ice.
You, Mark, and you know, I would love to one day somehow or another, whether it be a group of us or whatnot, go out for a camp with you. I think it would be hilarious. And you know, I don't drink alcohol, so you can't lead me astray and get me drunk and stuff like that and push me off a cliff or something. So, but I'm really looking forward to 2023 and what it's about, and what guys. Thank you very much for watching. We've come to an hour, and I think, you know, you've got to get up for work in the morning, and I haven't, but I'm just being respectful of your time there, Karen. Thank you guys for watching. It's been great. There's been about 20 of you watching in and out and stuff like that, and it really, really does mean the world to me. And I just wanted to say thank you all, and watch this space, because there's going to be lots of good videos, some interviews coming your way with wild campers and stuff like that. And guys, I just want to say, you know, 2023, it is what you make it. Don't be scared. Get out there, do some wild camping, make some new friends, join some groups and all of this sort of stuff. And it is what you make it, isn't it, Karen? What advice would you give to anybody who wants to start wild camping or that wants to start a YouTube channel? What advice have you got there?
I think, yeah, just watch other YouTube channels, reach out and talk to people that are doing, doing what you want to do. Go on social media. There's loads of YouTube groups out there as well. There's an outdoors YouTube creators group that is specifically for people that have, sort of outdoor channels, that supports, sort of with ideas and advice and everything. So anything like that. And I think ultimately, if you want to do it, then do it. Talk to people and get as much advice as you can and look on YouTube and stuff like that. But otherwise, just do it, because I can guarantee you won't regret it at all.
Finishing up, what bit of kit are you going to get in 2023? What do you want to buy?
Oh, there's a tent I like.
Go on,
there is a
us.
tent I like from one tigress. I can't actually remember what it's called, but it's like a pyramid style tent, and it looks really cool, and I like it, and I might get it.
just below
but yeah, other than that,
just below here is Karen's Instagram and YouTube page.
I mean,
I think you're all you do across and I'll do down. There you are. There we go.
Go on,
yeah. You all know who she is. You know where her channel are. But for people that don't know who she is and where she is, please get over to Insta. Please get over to YouTube and follow at KS Gone Wild. She's got some absolutely cracking videos. Guys, thank you very much for watching this. If you've not liked and subscribed and you've seen what you've and enjoyed what you've seen tonight, please like and subscribe. Please tell a friend and all of that stuff. And thank you very much for watching. And Karen, thank you very much for taking time out of your evening and joining us this evening. It's been great. I've really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's been brilliant. And yeah, thank you everyone to all your comments as well. I have been reading them, so thank you.
Yeah. Are you going to sing us a little song to play out, Karen, or not?
No.
Right, guys, stay safe, stay classy, and carry on camping.
See you later.
Cheers and gone.
Bye.